Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. World Cup Fantasy is finally here. They've made us wait a long time, but it's finally here. We are ready to play the game right after the Champions League Fantasy. Absolutely buzzing. So this is not a draft or anything. Those videos will be there from the weekend and from the remaining 2 weeks before the World Cup. For this one, we will be taking a look at the rules, which are the chips they've added to this game this time round, what is different from the 2018 FIFA World Cup fantasy game, how much are the players? They've not even actually updated every single player. There are still some players missing, but we'll be taking a look at the player prizes. They have it in dollars for some reason, not the euros or the pounds. They have it in dollars. So we'll be talking about that. Which players should you be getting and all that? Let me know how excited you are. The league code is in the description. Make sure to join the Everything Football League as usual. But super excited for this one. World Cup Fantasy. I'm absolutely buzzing. This is not my team or anything. This was out of field. They did end up picking up 3 players from Portugal, Bernardo, Bruno, Cancelo. Out of all these players that the out of pick has picked for me, I might end up having the likes of Messi and maybe Harry Kane, but the others we have to wait and see. But I am absolutely buzzing that it's back, as they've written up here. The players list provided are not final. We will continue updating the players list as information from the national teams become available. So the players who are missing probably won't be there and all that. Please remember to check on November 14th when all squads are finalized. So they'll finalize all the squads in the next 10 days. So not now. The squads are not finalized by now, but in the next 10 days, it will be there. So right away, I've noticed that the turnaround between match day 1 and match day 2, or match day 2 and match day 3 is very, very close. So literally one match day will be ending today and the next one will be starting the next day. So that's the one thing with Champions League. It's not like FPL or UCL fantasy. The very next day, literally you finish one match day today and the next one starts tomorrow morning. So you literally have to update your team before you go to bed, for example, because other places like in the world, the games will be starting like at 6 a.m. or something. So you will need to update your team very quickly. So for now, let's take a look at the player prizes before anything else. The league code is scrolling down the bottom. Make sure to join that. If you want a direct link, it's in the description. But first, let's take a look at the player prizes. Let's see how crazy they are for this time round. So let's do this. Let's go to the expensive guys. Let's go to the expensive guys first of all. So let's see. So Kylian Mbappe is 11.5 million. That is the most expensive player. That is very interesting. Obviously, he's a World Cup winner from last time. Harry Kane will cost you 11 million. Both forwards, obviously. De Bruyne will cost you 11 million as well, and Karim Benzema will cost you 11 million. So those are the only 4 players who are going to cost you 11 million. But first, let's go country by country. Let's go. Let's start with the big boys first. So let's go with Brazil first. Vinicius will cost you 10.5 million, and he is a forward in the game. So in UCL fantasy, Vinicius is usually a midfielder. So that is something that is very, very interesting. In UCL fantasy, Vinicius is usually a midfielder. In this one, he is a forward that is going to cost you 10.5 million. So you can't have every single forward that you want. Already, I'm thinking about 5 players, 5 strikers that I would want to have, but you literally cannot have all of them because already Messi, Vinicius, like all these guys, all of them are strikers. So let's see. 10.5 million is a lot. Neymar is also 10.5 million. I think if Neymar scores in this World Cup, I think he becomes like the 3rd Brazilian player to score at 3 different World Cups. He's always a good player at World Cups. Like he scored in 2014, he scored in 2018, and not many people have done that. I think Ronaldo and another guy have done that, like 2 players before him. So that is pretty interesting. Rafinha is going to cost you 8.5 million, but he's also a forward in the game. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure about that one as well. So let me actually do this so you can see it clearly on the right side of your screen. Vinicius as well. So Vinicius, and then Rodriguez also going to cost you 8.5 million, another forward. Mine, they literally have almost everyone as a forward. By the way, as I said at the beginning, this is not the finalized squad. Some teams have not even picked their World Cup squads yet. So, but some of these players are the ones we assume are definitely going to be there, like Neymar. Roberto Firmino is also a forward at 8.5 million. Anthony 8.5. Richarlison, Pedro, all these guys are forwards as well. We have 6 million midfielders in Fred, Fabinho, and Casemiro. The goalkeeper Alisson is 6 million. Ederson is 5.5 million. The defenders ranging between 5 million and 5.5 million. The likes of Marquinhos, Teles, 4.5 as a left back, not bad at all. Alexandra as well as a left back, not bad. 5 million. So the Brazilian prizes, interesting. Obviously, there are players that are not included there that might end up being in the World Cup squad. So that is Brazil. Let's take a look at Argentina. Let's go to Argentina and see how much their players are. So Messi is 10.5 million, pretty expensive as expected, but actually players like Mbappe are 1 million more expensive than him. So that is interesting. Angel Di Maria, I don't think I'll be going anywhere near. They actually has an injury anyway, so 8.5 million. Lautaro Martinez as a forward, 8 million. That is not bad. Like if Lautaro Martinez starts all 3 of those games, that's not a bad option at all. 8 million. Diabala is also 8 million. Julian Alvarez is 6.5 only. Lisandro Martinez as a defender is 6 million. Romero as well, 5.5. Tagliafico is his name. Former he used to play for Ajax. Does he still play for Ajax? 5.5 million. Rodrigo De Paul, Atletico Madrid player, 5 million. La Celso, 5 million as well. Correa, 5 million. Otamendi, 5 million. If you play UCL Fantasy, Otamendi is a very good option in terms of recovery points and all that, but we'll take a look at the rules. So these prizes for Argentina, I think they're fair enough. I don't think that Argentine prizes are too crazy, obviously, apart from the forward players like Messi, but the ones for Brazilians look a bit expensive. Next up, let's go to Belgium. I think a lot of people will be going for Belgian players as well. Unfortunately, it looks like Lukaku won't be there. He usually does the business at the World Cup, Romelu Lukaku. Let's see. De Bruyne is 11 million expected. He's a proper baller, De Bruyne. You're definitely not going to have De Bruyne on a chip. Definitely not. De Bruyne is not going to come on a chip for you. Let's see. Hazard is 8 million. He's a starter for Belgium. 8 million as a midfielder is not bad. Tielemans is 7 million. Now that if Lukaku misses out, it's probably going to be Batshuayi or Origi starting up front. 7 million, 6.5. We could have bargains there. Thomas Meunier was very good, I think, at the last World Cup playing as a right back. I think I had him and he scored a goal at the last World Cup. Meunier, very, very good option. I don't know if he's fit. There's a game I didn't, I've not seen him for like a couple of games for Dortmund. I don't know how fit he is. Don't worry, we will do research on all these players. Courtois, 6 million, just like Alisson. Trossard doing the business for Brighton is 5.5 million, but you don't really expect him to start games for Belgium. But you never know. If he plays that well, he might end up starting. So those are the Belgian prizes. Let's take a look at England. I know a lot of people will be having England players as well. Harry Kane. Harry Kane is 11 million. I think a lot of people will have Harry Kane. I'm assuming like 40% or something will have Harry Kane, especially because he's taking the penalties and also especially because their group, they have a few easier teams like USA and Iran. No disrespect if you're watching from USA, but England fans would expect to win those games. So Harry Kane at 11 million. Phil Foden, 8.5 million. I think he starts their games, so that's not bad. Sterling, 8.5. He always does well in the competitions for England. Bukayo Saka, 8 million. The thing is with Bukayo Saka, Southgate plays him anywhere. He could literally play him as a left wing back. You could play him as a right wing back. I'll come to your comments, by the way. He can play him anywhere, so you don't really want your midfielder to play as a wing back. Bellingham, 7.5 million, not bad. He loves getting forward. Mount, 7.5. Declan Rice, 6.5, definite starter. Reece James would have been such a good option if he was fit at 5.5 million. Harry Maguire, 5.5 million. Let me tell you, the Harry Maguire who plays for England is different sauce. He even takes penalties during the shootouts. Trent Alexander-Arnold is 5.5 million. Southgate is not his biggest fan, so we have to wait and see. Chilwell is unfortunately injured as well. Walker is injured as well. Pickford is 5.5 million. Not bad. Trippier, I think he will be starting at right wing back or as a centre back, depending on which formation they play. 5 million is not bad at all. And then Ben White, Gehi, Tomori, Cody, all 4.5 million. So those are the England prizes. I don't think they're too bad, especially someone like a Phil Foden at 8.5 million. That is not bad at all. Let me see what you guys are saying, and then I can come to the rest of the prizes. The guys who are asking for the app, the app has not updated yet. This is just the website online on Google. So if you click on the link in the description where I have the league code, I think it will directly take you there. And then I think you can automatically create your team where you can see join the Everything Football Fantasy League. I think when you click on that link, you'll be able to create your team. So let's go on. I'll read your comments soon. England done, Argentina done, France for sure. We have to take a look at the champions. Karim Benzema 11 million, Mbappe 11.5 million, Nkunku 9 million, Griezmann is 8.5 million, Kingsley Coman definitely will not be starting their games, 8 million. Giroud 7.5 million. I don't know how they're going to start their line, because Giroud has played really well for AC Milan so far this season, and Benzema, obviously we know Ballon d'Or winner, Mbappe has to play. You know, if I was the French coach, I would actually start with them. I don't know how I would have played the formation, but I'd probably have Giroud and Benzema up front. Like, Griezmann has not played that well this season. I think Benzema, Giroud, and Mbappe have been better than Griezmann this season, right? So I don't know which formation they'll play, but you expect Griezmann to start for sure for them. Camavinga 7 million. Now that Pogba is out, Kante is out, these kind of players will play. Camavinga and his teammate at Real Madrid, Tchouaméni. Koundé 6 million. Varane is injured as well. Lloris is 6 million. Konate 5.5 million. I don't know how fit he will be to start. Pavard scored. I think Pavard scored the goal of the tournament in 2018. So he does love getting forward as well. Luka Digne 4.5. So I think fair enough, fair prices. But if you're going to, like, France are going to play Australia in one of the games, if I'm not wrong. So in such a game, you expect France to score like 3 goals. So Mbappe, Benzema, if you're going to double up on them, that will be interesting. We will take a look at the rules. Germany-wise, Germany, terrible tournament last time. But if you go back to 4 years before that, they were champions. So Thomas Muller, 9.5 million. I think he's got like 11 World Cup goals. He is pretty good at World Cups apart from the last one. Serge Gnabry, 9 million. Leroy Sané, 9 million. Timo Werner is now out. He would have been 8.5 million. Kai Havertz is 8.5 million. Musiala is a very good option for Germany, 8 million. Royce, injured throughout. I'm not sure if he's even going to be there by the time we reach the World Cup. Kimmich, very good option, 7 million, especially if he takes the corners and the free kicks as well. Pretty good. Rudiger, 5.5 million, massive attacking threat there. And then their goalkeepers, Leno, Trapp, and Leno, Trapp for now. I think Neuer is also currently injured, but he probably will be picked for the squad if he's 100% fit. Even if he's 20% fit, he's definitely going to go to the World Cup. And then, so we've taken a look at the favorites to win the competition. Let's take a look at Netherlands. Let's see what Netherlands have. Frankie de Jong, 8.5 million. Memphis Depay, 8.5 million. Depay takes their penalties, so that is a very, very good option. Global betting tips, there's no, that is just the website. You can click on the link in the description. Cody Gakpo is 7 million. Badvine is 7 million. Berghaus is 7 million. This is just Ajax and PSV all through. Dumfries played really well at the Euros. Euro Fantasy was pretty good. Virgil van Dijk is a definite starter, so from corners is good. Klaassen, another player from Ajax as well. Daily Blind, Ajax as well. So not bad at all. Let's take a look at different continents before we come back to Europe. Let's take a look at Senegal. They do have, I think they're the favorites from Africa. Sadio Mane, 8.5 million, not bad for Sadio Mane. He will take their penalties as well, so that is pretty good. Kouyaté, 6.5 million. Ismaila Sarr, 6.5 million. He's a forward in this game. He's probably scored the best goal so far in the championship, English championship. Edouard Mendy is 5.5 million. Doesn't play a lot for Chelsea recently, but he'll definitely play for Senegal. Kalidou Koulibaly, another Chelsea player, 5.5 million. Idrissi Gana Gueye as well is there. Papa Gueye. I had most of these players when I was playing the African Cup AFCON Fantasy. So Senegal, a couple of good options there. Let's go to Uruguay. Let's see what Uruguay have, because these first 2 players here are interesting. Valverde, I always have him in my Champions League Fantasy, 8.5 million. That's not bad. He's a midfielder as well. Thank goodness they didn't put him as a striker. They usually randomly put some players that are midfielder strikers, and you're like, what the hell? Nunes is 8 million. Luis Suarez is 7.5 million. Cavani 7.5 million as well. Bentancur, Torreira was very good at the last World Cup for them. Muslera as a goalkeeper is usually a good option. I think he was my goalkeeper in the last fantasy game. 5 million, so not bad at all. And then there's another defender, 3.5 million. So pretty interesting. If we get a defender who can play at 3.5 million, that would save us a lot. Which country should we take a look at next? Probably Spain. Pedri, 8.5 million. Asensio 8.5 as well. Morata 8 million. Ansu Fati 7.5. Ferran Torres, Thiago, Rodrigo all 7 million. Carvajal 6 million. Pretty expensive. Unai Simon, I think he starts for them, so for 5.5 is not bad. Marcos Alonso 5.5 as well. Kepa is 5 million. Busquets 5.5. Azpilicueta 5 million. There's a lot of players. Like, we definitely need to know the ones who are definitely starting, because right here I can see like 5 right backs alone. So a lot of players. I'm not sure Ramos is a start. I'm not even sure Ramos has been picked recently for Spain, but he has been having a lot of injuries. Let's go to Mexico. Let's fly to Mexico and see what Mexico have. Jimenez is injured at the moment, unfortunately. Lozano has been playing magnificently for Napoli. Roma, they wouldn't like me saying that. Napoli have been on fire this season, and he's been great. Lozano, all those guys, Raspadori, Osimhen. So Lozano is only 6 million. That is not bad. And the thing with Mexico always pull off some surprises at the World Cup. I think they beat Germany at the last World Cup, and I think in 2010 they beat France. So Mexico are pretty good at World Cup competitions, especially recently. Guardado is 5.5. Alvarez, midfielder, 5.5 million. Sorry. Gallardo is 4.5. Hector Herrera is 4.5. Nesta, I always have trouble saying that name. Is it Araujo? Hopefully 4.5 million. So not bad for Mexico. I will probably have like a Mexican player sometime. I think they might advance the next round. Which other country have you not checked that a lot of people will have players from? Let's see. Portugal, of course. People are waiting for me to take a look at Portugal for sure. Cristiano Ronaldo is 10 million. Not bad. Ronaldo at 10 million for Portugal at the World Cup. He's a definite starter, so that's not a bad price at all. Bruno Fernandes, 9.5 million. Bernardo Silva, 9 million. Renato Sanchez, Joao Felix, 8 million. Joao Felix, by the way, needs to leave Atletico Madrid as soon as possible. His career, he's only like 22, but his career over there is absolutely terrible. Ruben Neves, 7.5 million. Moutinho, 7 million. Cancelo, we all know how good Cancelo is. 6 million. Ruben Diaz, 5.5. Pepe, 5 million as a defender, not bad. Jose Fonte, 4.5. So they don't have all the players yet, and these are not confirmed players. You never know. Ronaldo could be left out. Just imagine that. If Ronaldo is left out of the World Cup squad, there would be a meltdown, and then Portugal ended up winning. Let's see. Let's go to Ecuador. Valencia is 6.5 million. Remember him from the Premier League. Caicedo is 5.5. Campana is 5.5. All strikers. Sarmiento is 5 million. Mendes is 4.5. I'll definitely do research on all these players. Estupinan, that is the Brighton player, 4.5 million. Not bad prices. So if you're looking for cheaper, like Ecuador is a team to target for sure, because Ecuador are playing Qatar in the first game, and I don't think a lot of people are expecting crazy results from Qatar. So that group for Ecuador is not bad, and I think they'll also play Senegal and Netherlands. So there is potential for like 1 or 2 clinches there for Ecuador. Not totally impossible. Let's see which other country. Let's go to Australia and see what they have. Aaron Moy is 5 million. Their players are all very cheap. All of them, 5 million, 4.5. You know why? Probably because they're going to play teams like France, so you don't really expect Australia to win. Boyle, if I tell you I know a lot of Australian players, I will definitely be lying to you. Back in the day, I knew a lot. Tim Cahill, Viduka, all those guys, Kewell. But right now, I'll definitely have to do research on them. But they have like almost all their forwards are 4.5 million. So That is pretty. They don't have anyone more than 5 million at all, Australia. So that is interesting. And the thing with them, the World Cup fantasy and the Champions League fantasy, because you are allowed to bring on players from your bench for the players who didn't perform well. You basically have to have 15 players in your team who are playing. You can't really do it like FPL where you're like, nah, I'll have 2 cheap players on my bench that never play a game. No, in this one and Champions League fantasy, especially this one, because one match day is played like within like 4 days. You can change your players from the Tuesday on Wednesday. The players who play on Wednesday, if they don't perform, you can bring your players playing on Thursday. Like, I will come to the rules. It's crazy. That is Australia. Which other team? Canada. Let's take a look at the likes of Alphonso Davies. Jonathan David is 6 million. Let's see. Where is Alphonso Davies? 5 million for Alphonso Davies is not bad. Junior Hoylett is 5 million. Piet is 4.5 million. So very cheap players as well over there. They don't have anyone more than 6 million Canada. So interesting. Croatia, of course, finalists from the last World Cup. Why am I taking a look at them this late? Luka Modric, 8.5 million. A former Ballon d'Or winner, Perisic, 7.5 million. Perisic is a midfielder in this game. He's a defender in FPL and in UCL fantasy, so that's interesting. Kovacic, 6.5 million. Brozovic, 6 million. Kramaric, 6 million. Orsic is 5 million. He's done well in the Champions League this season. Lovren, the GOATs, 4.5 million. Vida, 4.5 million. Remember, they played well at the last World Cup. Went all the way to the final. Which country have I not taken a look at? Let's go to Morocco. Let's see the likes of Ziyech. Ziyech is 7 million. Boufal is 6 million. So their most expensive player is 7 million. Interesting. Now, Morocco at the last World Cup, they were pretty defensive. I think they lost 1-0 to Iran. I think they might have lost 1-0 to Portugal. So they are not conceding more than 1 goal at the last World Cup. So they're not a team that will concede 3 or 4 goals. Yusuf El Nasri, he's a striker for Sevilla, right? 5.5 million. Amrabat, 5.5 million. Mazraoui is also there, 5 million, not bad. Hakimi is definitely a very good option as well. Maybe not to the World Cup fantasy, depending on the opponents he has. It's 5 million. So I'm sure a couple of people will be targeting some players from Morocco. Hakimi, Mazraoui, players you recognize. Amrabat, El Nasri, Boufal, Ziyech. So let's see. Let's go to the North African neighbors. Tunisia, how much are their players? They don't have any players more than 5 million at the moment. Pretty interesting. Silmane, 5 million. Jabali, 4.5 million as well. So very cheap players as well. If Tunisia have a good fixture, if you get to learn a few things about their players. Qatar, oh, I'll be lying to you if I told you I knew players from Qatar. I'll definitely be lying to you. Let's see how much they are. The most expensive player is 4.5 million, probably for a reason. Maybe you have their goalkeeper and hope the other team has like 20 shots and that goalkeeper saves like 15 shots and saves a penalty. Maybe because their goalkeeper is only 4 million, so that is pretty cheap. Not bad. Poland. Lewandowski, 10 million. Milik is 7.5. Zielinski is 6.5. Klich is 6 million. Not bad at all. Piatek 5.5. Their goalkeeper Szczesny 5.5 as well. I will rush through the other ones. Korea Republic, obviously now Son is kind of a doubt, but he probably will play. 8.5 million. Hee Chang-wang, 6.5 million midfield in the game. Chang Hun Kwon, 5.5 million. Absolutely love these names. Hui Jong Wang, 5.5 million. Min Kui Song, 5 million. Gui Sang Cho, incredible names, guys. Like, you can't tell me, you're not having fun saying these names. Song Young Pak, 5 million. In Boeng Wang, 5 million. Wu Yong Jang, 5 million. Min Jai Kim, 4.5 million. Their goalkeeper is 4.5 million as well. Pretty, obviously, Son, if he's fit by then, probably a good option. Again, Saudi Arabia, I'll be lying to you if I told you I knew Saudi Arabia players. Kamara, Al-Dawsari, I'll be lying to you if I told you I knew their players. Definitely have to do some research on that one. Through the weekend, Serbia, Mitrovic, already thought about Mitrovic. Vlahovic is 8.5. Tadic, 8 million. Milinkovic-Savic as a midfielder, he gets a lot of attacking returns as a midfielder, so 7 million is not bad. Luka Jovic, 7 million. They do have a lot of forwards: Mitrovic, Jovic, Vlahovic. Mitrovic is only 7 million. Now, Kostic is 6 million. He is a midfielder in this game. He's a defender in Champions League Fantasy. Let's see, Lukic, 5 million. So not bad prices. Like, I don't know if does Vlahovic and Mitrovic start together, because Mitrovic is a very good option for me. He does score against whichever team in whichever competition, club or country. USA, Pulisic, 7.5 million. Reina, 7 million. Ricardo Pepe, 5.5 million. Matt Turner, 4.5. Yedlin, 4.5. Anthony Robinson, 4 million. Not bad for their prices. It depends, though, how many goals they'll score in that group. Like, for example, against England, who will have a back five. That's the problem. Which country have I not? Japan, of course. Japan, again, usually do well, especially like in the last World Cup. They scored like 3 goals against Belgium in a game. Furuhashi, 7 million. I think he plays for Celtic. Minamino, 7 million. Kamada as well, 5.5 million. This is the Kamada from Frankfurt. He usually scores a bunch of goals, 5.5 million. It's going to be interesting to see how much, who takes their penalties. Takehiro Tomiyasu is 4.5 million. Yoshida is 4.5 million. Not bad for their prizes. Again, Iran, I'll be lying to you if I told you I knew players from Iran. Taremi, I know Taremi. Let me correct that. I know Taremi. He's striker for FC Porto. I know him very well, and I know Jahan Bash as well. He used to play for Brighton, so I actually do know players from Iran. I didn't actually know I knew them. Taremi, Jahan Bash, Godos. I know 3. The others I don't recognize any of them, but it looks like I know 3 of their players. Costa Rica, 2014 World Cup, they did pretty well. Brian Ruiz is their captain. I think he takes their penalties, not bad. 6 million. Joel Campbell, 6 million. Gerson Torres, 5 million. Johan Venegas, 5 million. Keylor Navas, he always plays for them as a goalkeeper, 5 million. Backup to Donnarumma at PSG. So good options. Brian Oviedo, 4.5 million. A player like Brian Ruiz I'll be looking at for sure. Cameroon. Let's take a look at Cameroon. Onana is 5 million. Epas is 4 million. Those are the only 2 players on the website so far. So they don't have any other Cameroon players so far. Which other country? Denmark. Ericsson is 8 million. Branthwaite is 6.5. Højbjerg does love getting forward. I don't know if he's going to do the same for his country. Damsgaard, 6 million. Jensen, 6 million. Cornelius, 6 million. So pretty good. Let's see the goalkeeper. Christensen is 5 million. Vestergaard is 4.5. They don't have any goalkeepers yet on the website. So I think that is Ghana. Inaki Williams, 6.5. Kudus, a legend. Kudus was my captain in the last Champions League match day. 6 million. Ayew is 6 million. His brother, Andre Ayew, 6 million. Schlupp is 5 million. Amati is 4.5. Lamptey is 4 million. Salisu is 3.5 million. Baba Rahman is 3.5. Now, where the hell is Thomas Partey on this list? They don't have Thomas Partey on this list. That is crazy. Which other country have I missed out on? I don't think there's any. Maybe Tunisia. I've not taken a look at Tunisia. Slimane, 5 million. The most expensive player is 5 million. So again, we could have cheaper options there. Kazri as well, 4.5 million. Switzerland, Xhaka, 7 million. Shaqiri, 7.5. Mbolo, 6.5. Okafor as a striker there, 6 million. Zakaria, 5.5. Akanji, 5 million. Frola, 5 million. Soma, 5 million. So interesting. Ricardo Rodriguez, I had him at the Euros, 4.5 million. Severovic as well, 4.5 million. So fair prices, I'd say so far. You can see a way where you can get in players. Gareth Bale is 8 million for Wales. Aaron Ramsey, 7.5. Brennan Johnson, 6 million. Kiefer Moore is usually dangerous from the headers for Wales, 6 million. Dan James, Harry Wilson, Joe Allen, all 6 million. Ben Davis, 5 million. Nico Williams, a fantasy FPL legend this season, 4.5 million. Danny Ward, another fantasy Premier League legend for this season, 4.5 million. Just as cheap as they are in the FPL. I think that is all the countries. I'm hoping I've done all the countries so far. Portugal, Netherlands, Morocco, Korea. I think I've done all of them, right? I don't think I've missed out on anyone. Yeah, I think that is all. So let me know what you guys think of the prizes before I come to the rules for this match day, for this World Cup fantasy, not match day. Shika says, "Hi, brother. I just started to check on this and select my team. The prices here are insane, and they're also in dollars, so crazy. I think they're fair though. I think 11 million, like 10 million for Ronaldo, not bad at all. So let's see." Let's go, says Ezin. Justin says Walker Zimmerman is nailed for the USA. Decent fixtures in Højbjerg for bench if you need cheapos. Yeah, just talked about Højbjerg. How are you, Soldier Boy? How are you, Tezza? Nice seeing you guys again. Joshua says prediction for the whole thing. I'll probably do a video for that, Joshua, but I do expect Brazil, Argentina to do well. Brazil usually rarely go like 2 World Cups without doing well. Argentina as well. I do expect Germany to go far, like quarterfinal, definitely not get eliminated in the group stage this time round. I do expect Senegal to do well as well this time. Once again, just like in back in 2002. But I will have a prediction. I will look at the groups and all. The prizes have so much of variations. Yep, Chika. Envious name of the app. Click on the link in the description and it will take you to the website. The app has not updated yet, so you won't get anything over there on the FIFA app. So let's take a look at the rules. By the way, you can join the league. Everything football, the link is in the description. Let's go to the rules. Let's see what they're saying about the rules. Ezin says, first time we'll try this Fantasy World Cup, same rules as FPL. Oh, definitely not. It's totally different. Let me just show you, Ezin. It's totally different. This is my second time playing. I've already seen a couple of things have changed. So we're not going to go to the introduction and everything like that. We all know basic stuff, 15 players and all that. So I'm going to do this. Let's do that. Hopefully you guys can read that. Forget about the registration. We know about that. Team creation, we know. Formation, it's up to you. First important part is this one. How many players can you have from each team for each round? So in the group stage, you can have 3 players per nation. That is the same as FPL throughout the season and as the UCL franchise in the group. In the round of 16, you can have 4 players from one team. That is interesting. 4 players from one team is not bad. Quarterfinal, 5 players from one team. So if you want Mbappe, Benzema, if they're still there, usually there's a cast of champions. They usually go out in the group stage. But if they're still there, if you want those players, semi-final, 6 players, it's not bad. And then final, you can have 8 players from each team. So I don't think that is much of a surprise. I think you would have expected something like that. And then they're like, you are able to add players to your team, blah, 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 blah. We know that one. Captain. For each match day, you must select a captain. We know about that one for sure. But this is an important detail. You can change your captain an unlimited number of times, as long as the new selected captain is yet to play in the current match day. So basically, if like for example, the World Cup will start on a Sunday, there will be games for that match day on Monday, I think Tuesday, Wednesday. I think there will be like 4 or 5 days. So if you have a captain on the first day, Qatar versus Ecuador, if you have your captain from Ecuador, if he doesn't do anything, you can change your captain for the Monday game. So if Monday, Messi is playing on Monday, you can captain him. If he only gets 1 goal and you're not happy with that, you can change it again, change your captain for the Tuesday game again. So you have to be active. You cannot change your team and then go on a holiday for 1 week. You will not be anywhere near the top because people will be changing every single day. I do understand work gets in the way and everything, but you do get my point. If your captain doesn't play on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, doesn't return everything as you want, on Tuesday you can change it again, and on Wednesday you can change it again. So you can change your captain even 4 to 5 times that week. So if your captain ends up getting you 2 points, that is a disaster of a match day because you've had like 4 or 5 chances to return. So that is interesting. That is the same as it was last time, but for you guys who are new, obviously they go on to say once your captain has played in the match, you are able to change your captain once more for another player who is yet to play. Obviously, your captain has, if you change your captain, it has to be for a player who hasn't played. Let's take a look at the substitutions. When creating a team, we know that your substitutes will become active in your team and replace did not play player in your starting 11 automatically if you have not made any manual subs. You know about that. If you make a sub, you bring on a player from the bench and bring them onto the starting lineup, they won't make any automatic subs for you. If the last player who plays for you on that week doesn't get on the pitch and gets you 0 points, he will remain in your team. We know about the subs. If you play UCL Fantasy, especially, a lot of you in the chat have played that UCL Fantasy. That's probably how you discover this channel. So we all know about that one. You can make your subs if the players played. Now, time for the chips. Yes, what we call the chips on FPL and UCL Fantasy. Last time they had something. They had the wildcard. They had the bench boost in UCL Fantasy, in World Cup Fantasy, and they also had they had one that was called something captain, where you could captain a player. You don't choose your captain. If you play that chip, the player who scores the most points in your team is the one who's going to be given the captain automatically. So you don't have to stress about, oh my goodness, I captained a player who had 10 points and another one has picked up 16. No, if you play that chip, the one who picks up 16 points will automatically be captain. So let's read that in detail. So let's take a look at the chips that they have this time round. Wildcard will allow you to make unlimited transfers. We know about that. Cannot be used for the first match of the group or the round of 16. So you can use a wildcard any time apart from match day 1, obviously, and match day 4. Any other time you can use it. This is a new chip. This one is a new chip. It's called 12. Let me do this. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. So 12th man. This is a new chip. This is pretty interesting. So they go on to say, this will allow you, no, let me just remove this, will allow you to select one additional player to score points for your team in a match day. When selected, the 12th man cannot be substituted, captained, or transferred. You can select any player to be a 12th man. Budget or team restrictions do not count here. Wow. 12th man will allow you to select one additional player to score points for your team in a match day. When selected, the 12th man cannot be substituted, captained, or transferred. You can select any player to be a 12th man, budget, or team. So does this mean that he doesn't have to be part of your 15 players? That is what I'm understanding from this. So I can have 11 players in my team and then I choose a 12th random player who's not in my team. If that's the case, that is pretty interesting. I have never seen anything like this. And I play like 6-7 fantasy games. I played the Norwegian fantasy game. I play Bundesliga fantasy game. I play La Liga fantasy game. I play Champions League fantasy, Premier League fantasy, and I've never seen anything like this. This is interesting. This is something new. I do like when they bring on something new, something that you've never seen before. So 12th man, I'm not sure if it's, I'll try to read more into it. I don't know if that means a 12th man from your bench, or does it mean a 12th man who doesn't even necessarily have to be in your team? So I can have a striker, 3 strikers in Messi, Ronaldo, and Kane, and then if I feel like Batshuayi can do well for Belgium, I can just have him in my team, even though he's not in my team. Basically, that is what 12th man means. Interesting. We'll do more studies on that one. Power captain is another chip that is there. So this one is one I was telling you that was there last time. This will allow you to get double points from whichever player scores the most points from your 15-man squad. This player will automatically be assigned the captain. So if you even have this player, if you play this chip, if you have a player on your bench and they score 20 points from your bench, it doesn't matter. They automatically get the captaincy if you play this chip. So that is interesting. So you probably have to play this one when a lot of teams have easier fixtures that week. So you're targeting Brazil here, Argentina, France, those kind of teams. And if they have easier fixtures in the same week, this power captain could be magic. So you won't cry about the player that has scored the most points for you not being your captain, you captained a player with 8 points instead of captaining a player who got 16 points. No, the player who got 16 points will automatically be captain. So you basically don't choose a captain that's that week. It's automatically chosen for you. That is interesting. So those are 3 chips to use: the wildcard, the 12th man, and the power captain. So as always, you cannot use them in the same match day. And considering the World Cup is only match day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? It's only 7 match days at the World Cup. So 3 of them you can use chips. You can use 3 chips. You can use the 3 chips in any of them apart from the first round and the round of 16. So basically, you're not going to be using chips in like 2 match days. 3 of them you're going to be using chips, and 2 of them you're going to get an automatic wildcard like round of 16. And the first match you don't really use the chips. So up to you. You can obviously use the chip if you want, the power captain, for example, in match day 1. You will not be able to reverse a booster once it has been confirmed, and a booster will remain active. So they don't call it chips here, they call it boosters. So interesting. Transfers. Let's take a look at transfers. You'll be given a limited allocation of free transfers. This is always very important. How many transfers are we allowed per week? Before the tournament, unlimited. So right now you can make 1,000 transfers if you want. But before the start of match day 2, you're only allowed 2 transfers. Before the start of match day 3, you're also allowed 2 transfers. So the ones who are going to have a lot of injuries or a lot of suspensions, by the time we hit match day 2, you're going to only have 2 transfers unless you take a hit. And man, I do not like hits. So you can just imagine I am not going to take a hit in World Cup Fantasy. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look at my team and look at which teams have good fixtures all the way. Before the start of round 16, obviously unlimited. And then before the start of the quarterfinals, you're allowed 4 transfers. So those will be 8 teams to choose from. You're going to be allowed 4 transfers. Before the start of semifinals, 5 transfers. Before the start of the finals, 6 transfers. So I'm expecting a lot of people to use their wildcard in the group stage. But if you save your wildcard for later, you can still use it. Because let's say around here, before the round of 16, around here somewhere, after the group stage, let's say France has gone through, Argentina has gone through, Portugal, and you choose these players from these teams, and the other teams that have gone out, you remove all their players. So I'm assuming if you go for 3 French players because they have an easy fixture, or you go for 3 Argentine players because they have a good fixture, and then disaster happens, and then France, Argentina, and Brazil are all eliminated in the round of 16, and then you had like 9 players from those teams, you can still use your wildcard then, because that would be an emergency situation. It would help you then as well, because you didn't expect these teams to go out, and you had a lot of their players in the round of 16. You can still use it there, and the 4 transfers might not be enough. But as you can see, that is the chances of that happening is very minimal. For you going for 3 French players, 3 Argentine players, 3 Brazilian players, 3 Portuguese players, and then all of them go out in the same round, that would be basically impossible. So 4 transfers, I think, is enough before the quarterfinal, and then 5 transfers before the start of the semifinals, and then before the start of the final, you're allowed 6 transfers. I think that's fair. I think that's not bad at all. Not complaining about that. By the way, hit the like button to support the channel. We will have a lot of content heading into the Champions League. Why did I keep on saying Champions League Fantasy? Because I'm used to Champions League Fantasy. Excuse me for that. World Cup. I need to get the World Cup thing inside my head. The World Cup Fantasy. We will have a lot of content with that fast draft and all that. During the group stage, 1 transfer can be carried. Oh, this is an interesting point as well. Let's not forget about this. During the group stage, 1 transfer can be carried over in the next group stage match day. However, due to the unlimited transfer limit between the last game of match day 3 and the start of round of 16, you'll not be able to carry a transfer over at this stage. So if we are heading into match day 2, you don't have to make all your transfers. You can make 1 transfer, and then you remain with 1 to use to have 3 in match day 3. Hopefully that makes sense. So you can carry 1 transfer basically between match day 1 and match day 3. There's not a lot of match days to think about there, like the UCL Fantasy where you have 6 match days in the group. But here you can carry over 1 transfer probably in match day 2 going to match day 3. During any stage of the tournament, you are able to exceed your transfer allocation for that round, but each additional transfer you make will deduct 3 points. So it's not -4 like we are used to. It's -3. Joshua asks, do player prices change? Let's keep scrolling and see if they have any information on that. So Interesting. It's only a -3 when you take a hit. It's not -4 like we're used to in all the fantasy games. So that is interesting. -3 is not bad. I mean, if your team is like a lot of injuries, -3, if you think about it, is not that bad. Next up, let's see. Once a transfer is confirmed, what are we taking a look at next? The table below outlines what match day a transfer will become active for depending on a player's state. Transfer has played in current match day. I think this is the things that we already know. Has played in the current match day, has not played in the current match day. I mean, we know transferred in player won't score in your team until the next match day. Yeah, we know that. I mean, we know that I cannot transfer a player during match day 1 and then he starts giving me points in match day 1. We know it's automatic that he's going to start getting me points in match day 2, not match day 1. So those ones, if you play FPL, UCL Fantasy, the last even 1 year, I think you understand this. By the way, if this video is too quick for you, you can obviously rewatch it, or you can go to the website and read it slowly. What is lockout? Fantasy Classic will implement a rolling lockout mechanic whereby players will become locked as soon as their team plays in the current match day. Locked. Lockout will be automatically lifted once all fixtures in the current match day have concluded. We'll implement a rolling... What the hell is lockout? Whereby players will become locked as soon as their team plays. I guess that is just you can't do anything with them after they started playing. That is crazy. I don't understand that well, but I will read into it again. Scoring system, very important. We want to know how many points our players are going to give us. How many players our players going to give us. How are you, Mustafa, Andrew, Ripadu? Nice seeing you, Soldier Boy as well. Joshua, thank you guys for being here again. As in, let's see scoring system. I think it's basically, but I have seen a couple of new things in the scoring system. I think they're giving points for shots on target. That is crazy. If a player has a shot on target, they're going to give a point for. I think it's for the strikers only. Let's see. Don't take my word for that. Let's read through it. But that is crazy. If they're giving points for shots on target. Let's see. Obviously, appearance, we know that. Assist, it's only 3 points. We know that. Red card is -2. Yellow card is -1. On goal is -2. Winning a penalty. So if your player wins a penalty, it's +2. If they concede a penalty, it's -1. So that is interesting. Goalkeepers. If a goalkeeper keeps a clean sheet, is 5 points. Yeah, that is also new, right? Because usually goalkeepers get 4 points. So they're giving goalkeepers 5 points for a clean sheet. Yeah, we need to start looking for goalkeepers who are going to get us definite clean sheets. First goal conceded, 0. So nothing with that one. First goal conceded, 0 points. Each additional goal conceded -1. Wait, are they going to deduct you a point for every goal conceded, not every 2 goals? Each additional goal. Wow. So yeah, for the goalkeepers, it's not like -2. You know, for the defenders and goalkeepers for all the other fantasy games, if your player concedes 2 goals, that's when it's -1. When they concede another 2 goals, that's when they get a -1 as well. This time around, they're going to deduct you a point for every single goal. So if you have a goalkeeper and they concede 5 goals, that is -5. That is crazy. Goal scored. If a goalkeeper scores a goal, +9. Just imagine that. If your goalkeeper scores a goal at the World Cup, it's +9. I don't think I have a lot of World Cup knowledge. I'm actually doing a documentary on World Cup right now. I don't think I've seen a goalkeeper scoring a goal at the World Cup before. So I don't think that will happen. +9. I don't think so. Penalty save. You'll only get 3 points for a penalty save. That is mean. If your goalkeeper saves a penalty, it's only 3 points. Come on, that is pretty mean. That is very, very mean. Every 3 saves, 1 point, so that is same. So yeah, that is totally different. Someone had asked, is it the same as FPL? This is totally different, and it's not the same as it was because I played it in 2018. I don't remember some of these things at all. Especially this for -1, every goal conceded. I've never had that one. Defenders, let's go to the defenders. Clean sheet, 5 points. That is interesting. Usually a clean sheet is 4 points. Here for a defender, it's 5 points. Even more important. First goal conceded, 0. Each additional goal conceded -1. So I'm telling you guys, if let's say you double up on if you go for Cancelo and Pepe, from Portugal, and then they concede 4 goals, you are going to get some minus, so a lot of minuses in your team, because they're minusing 1 point for every goal conceded for each player that you have. Goals scored +7. So if a defender scores a goal, it's +7. Whoa, that's a lot. It's usually 6, so 7 is also a lot. So again, these players like Cancelo, these players like Hakimi, these players who like going forward, even Van Dijk, if they score a goal, +7 is not bad. Let's go to the midfielders. Clean sheet +1, that is usual. Goal scored +5, that is usual. Every 3 tackles +1. So players like Højbjerg, players like the players who play midfield, those players are not that bad, because if they make a lot of tackles, they get an extra point every 3 tackles. So it's not a crazy idea if you go for defensive midfielders here. So that's not bad. Nothing much to read on the midfielders. Forwards, goal scored +5. Yo, they're giving the same points for the forwards and the midfielders for scoring a goal. I don't mind that. I don't know. What do you guys feel about that? Do you think it's a good idea to give the same number of points to the forwards and the midfielders if they score a goal? Because, I mean, then I don't really have to go for I don't have to stress about, oh my goodness, I have to get all these good midfielders. I can just get the strikers knowing they're going to get the same number of points. That is interesting. But here, this is the new one. Every 2 shots on target. If your striker takes 2 shots, they're going to get an extra point. If they take another 2 shots, they get an extra point on target. So that is pretty interesting. So that is where players like Harry Kane and Ronaldo, who like taking 5-6 shots per game, they become very important. Those kind of players who can shoot from anywhere. It will definitely help you. Before I go on, let me see what you guys are saying. Soldier Boy says, is that the same in FPL? Forwards and midfielders, same points? Nope, it's not the same in any other fantasy game that I play. It's usually 4 points for the strikers, 5 points for the midfielders. But in this one, they're giving the same points, so that is interesting. Ripadu, now I've just it was automatically picked, but I'll take a look at they don't even have every single player yet, because the squads have not been confirmed. So at the moment, they still need to add players to the system and to the website and all that. Chika says, yeah, show us the documentary on World Cup. Looking forward to that. I do that on my other channel, that is Football Reminisce, if you're interested in documentaries for players and that, yeah, but I'm doing a World Cup video. That is the toughest video I've ever done, because I've literally had to study 1930 to now, every single World Cup detail by detail. It's crazy, it's nuts, but you get to learn a lot. Like right now, I know like everything that happened in 1934 at the World Cup, so I'm pretty happy with that. The knowledge that you gain when you're doing these videos. Chika says this point system is depressing and unfair. Justin says decent fixtures. Danny Ward, the GOAT, says the Soldier Boy. It's on the other channel, Soldier Boy. That's very nice. Only 1 point for 60 plus minutes though, says Joshua. Well, I've not read that part, but I'll see. So maybe you can transfer them out. How do I play? Mustafa, you can click on the link in the description. I think you can create your team there. Zielinski, 6.5 million is good, Justin. I've looked at that as well. That is pretty good. If a lot of people will be thinking about Lewandowski, but Zielinski, 6.5 million is good. I appreciate it. No points for assists, says Quentin. That is interesting. I've not seen anything about assists so far. Soldier Boy says Glenn has an Arsenal channel as well. Yeah, I have 4 YouTube channels, so that is why you cannot. I have to take a couple of breaks here and that do all the videos. But don't worry, videos will be coming almost every single day here. They've not have anything. Quentin, you're actually right. They've not written anything about assists so far. Let's see. But they have here. All players. Yeah, it's there. All players. If you get an assist, it's 3 plus 3 as usual. So 60, yeah, appearance, 60 points. Yeah, that's a very good point. I missed this part. You only get 1 point for a player who plays 60 plus points. So -1 for a yellow card, -2 for a red card. So let's see. Let's keep scrolling. That is pretty interesting. Leaderboard, we know about this one. We know about the leagues. Mini leagues, you have the ability to create your own league. I already done that. The link is in the description. Match day schedule. So match day 1 will be played between 20th November and 24th of November. Match day 2 starts in 25th of November. So this is crazy. If you need to make your changes, you need to make them almost immediately, because for example, like if you're in Europe, UK or France or Portugal, the games will be like starting at like 10 a.m. your time in the morning. If you're like in USA or Canada, Mexico, South America, the games will be starting like at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. for you in the morning, depending on where you are, maybe 7 a.m. latest. If you're on the other side, Australia, the games will be starting like at 8 p.m. at night. So you have to really take a look at how to change your team, because like let's use European time, because most of you are watching from Europe and Africa, you'd understand it more. The game ends on 24th November. That will be like at 11 p.m. at night. The very next match day starts the next day at 10 a.m. in the morning. So you have to change your team that night. There's no sleeping. Either you wake up very early and change your team, or you change your team that same night, or you change your team earlier. But I would prefer to, because I don't think there's any player changes in terms of prizes. So you can change it earlier, but I would prefer to wait and see which players are getting injured, which players are getting suspensions, because I'm pretty sure if a player gets a yellow card in match day 1 and in match day 2, they don't play match day 3, if my knowledge serves me right. So you have to take a look at all that. But yeah, the turnaround is quick. The match day ends on 24th of November and then starts on 25th. Another one ends on 28th, starts on 29th. Another one ends on 2nd and starts on 3rd as well. That is crazy. Literally, there's no break for the round of 16. Usually, I'm pretty sure usually after the group stage, they usually take like 2 days off and then they return like on a Thursday from the last 3 World Cups I've watched. This time there's no break. Literally the game starts the very next day. Interesting. But there will be a break of 2 days between match day 4 and 5, another break of like 3 days between match day 5 and 6, and another break of like 3 days between semifinals and third place playoff and final. Yo, that is a lot. That is a lot to take in, but hopefully it's been helpful. A lot of interesting things to look into, like this one for strikers scoring the same points as midfielders when they score 5 points. I also have find this interesting. Every 2 shots on target from a striker gets you 1 point as well. So even if Ronaldo doesn't score a goal, but he has 6 shots on target, you get like 3 points there. So not 3 points there. So that's not bad at all. So those are all the rules that we need to know for this one. And then the boosters, as they call them, the chips. You have a wild card, you have a power captain, you also have a 12th man. So you have 3 chips to use there. That is interesting as well. And I also forgot about the other one I found interesting. The one for -1. Every goal your goalkeeper or defender concedes, you get a -1. That is crazy. The players, maximum number of players per nation, every single stage, we know about these ones. And then, yeah, all these ones for registration and all that, it's pretty common. Frequently asked questions. How do I pick my squad? We know that. Are there any prizes to be won? That is also interesting. We need to know about the prizes. Yes, of course, there is prizes to be won on on Fantasy, UCL, World Cup, whatever. Eligibility. There's some countries that can't play, excluding residents of Australia, mainland China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Czech Republic, France. Wait, there are some countries who can't play. Wait. You mean this game? Yo, any of these guys? They're actually written that this game cannot be played in France, Greece, Italy, Japan, Portugal, Russia, Spain, South Korea. Really? That is interesting. I don't know how VPN works for guys, but if you can't play it there, that is interesting. That's a lot of countries. You would assume a lot of people play from those countries: Portugal, Spain, France. Yo, I'd need to know, is any of you from these countries? China and Taiwan, I might understand. But France, Italy, Portugal, Spain, how comes they can't play? Austria is out, Chica, but have you been able to create a team, Chica? Because they've written excluding residents of Austria. That would be so gutting. Like, I imagine, like, you can't play because, I mean, these are the countries that are the World Cup: Portugal, France. Like, what the hell? Competition will run between 28th 2022 to 24th November. We know about that one. I don't know how people will do with this one. I don't know if people use the VPN. I don't know if they're allowed to use VPN on the FIFA app. I don't know about that one. But yeah, that is what they've written. All these countries cannot play. So who will play? So how many countries are remaining that can actually play? That is basically, they've removed like almost half. So yeah, we know about the rest of the rules. Let's take a look at the price. Let me know, Chica, because in Austria, let me know if you've been able to register. Prizes, they've not written anything about prizes. They've only written you can win tickets to Qatar. So they've not written any other prizes yet. So the app will be updated more. The website will be updated more. So let's see what's there. So how many of you have joined the league yet? Let's see. Can I even check? Join leagues. Oh yeah, I can join a World Cup Fantasy, of course. Yeah, I will do these ones later. Table. Yeah, I will do these things later, but make sure to join the league if you're able to play. Chica says I could create an account, didn't save my team yet. If you can create an account, that is weird then. That is crazy. That's weird. I'll see what people are saying over on Twitter and stuff. Maybe it's only 18 plus for those countries, says Joshua. Really? Did I read that wrong? Let's see it again. Worldwide, excluding residents. It's open to those 18 or illegal to between their country. I think you could be right. So let me know. It would be interesting to know. Surely there's no way they can. It sounds crazy. Surely there's no way they can exclude all these countries. Like there's no way. Like that would be crazy. Because a lot of people play from there, so that would be crazy. But yeah, you could be right. It could be that. It could be that, Joshua. Maybe it's they mean like 18 plus if in those countries. I could create. Reaper says I could create my account as well. I mean, if you create your team, you can just do automatically pick a team and try and save it and see if it goes. So, because this is not my team as well, I just auto picked the team and then it picked for me and then I came live. So let's see how it will go. But yeah, we'll have drafts and all that from tomorrow and everything. I wish Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy asked if I've ever won a prize in a fantasy game. No, that feeling like I don't know anyone who's ever won. So that would be something amazing. But over here we do have like a couple of people who are number one in their countries, the likes of Chica who are number one, like in Austria in the UCL fantasy game. So we'll get to know how. Hopefully one of the people watching Everything Football will win the prize. I think I have like 4 people, number one in Canada, number one in Austria, I think number one in Germany or something, all watch the video. So it'll be interesting to see if they won the award. If anyone needs to create them. But yeah, I think you're able to, let's see. I think you're able to create. Let me know in the comments after the video, Chica and Reaper, if you're able to create your team, because that would be crazy. I don't think it makes sense to not allow those. Why wouldn't they allow those countries? Like there's no good reason for not allowing them. But yeah, that is the game has launched. Make sure to create your teams, and then probably from Sunday, hopefully I'll do some research tomorrow, and then from Sunday, obviously we get to have the first drafts, the second drafts, and see how it is in terms of players. But they've not also updated every single player because the squads have not been picked, so you have to wait and see that as well. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Chica says I just saved my team and also clicked to join your league, but nothing happened. Hope I'm added there. What's your team name? Your name is, let me just see. Let me just check. Let me just check it if it has gone. I'm literally praying for you that you're able to play, because it would be boring not to be able to play. I would take it personally. Oh yeah, you're there, Chica. Don't worry, Chica. Forget about it. Do not worry at all, Chica. Maybe you're not in Austria. Maybe you've moved already, Chica. So I think Joshua was right. I think Joshua means they meant something to do with plus 18. Maybe you can't play in those countries if you're under 18. It still doesn't make sense though. If it's that case, then ban everyone under 18 from playing the game. Why would someone from England under 18 be able to play, not France under 18? I literally do not get that. But yeah, I can see you, Chica. I can see you. So far we have Max, who has joined. Myself, I've joined, obviously. Maria, Cuthbert, PC. I can see 2 teams from Max here. Obviously, that is it 2 teams? No, because I can also see 2 teams now. So I think they have it twice. I don't know why they have it twice, because I can also see myself twice. So Chica BVB, I can see you. So that is great. So make sure to keep on joining the league. Hopefully we have like more than 500 people competing. But yeah, don't worry, Chica. Chica was already devastated that he couldn't play because he's absolutely smashing UCL fantasy. He wants to win the World Cup fantasy as well. So drafts over the weekend. Make sure to tune for that one. Thank you, Soldier Boy. I don't see a reason why these countries are suspended from playing. I think they mean plus 18, but yeah, it's crazy. But Chica is in Austria and he's managed to join. So thank you, guys. Let me get some other things done, but we will do some research and hopefully get some videos out from tomorrow night. Catch up with you on the next one.